Good Wednesday evening, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back, Southwest Arkansas weather here on Wednesday, October the 15th, 2025. Taking a look at your evening weather blog and talking about what's in store for the next 6 days. Starting off with this period, Thursday through Friday, we continue to be through Thursday, we continue to be under the influence of the upper level ridge, leading to sunny, clear skies and highs above average ranging from the mid to upper 80s with overnight lows in the lower to mid 60s there. As we go into Friday, you're going to notice some increase in some cloud cover with mostly sunny skies, but our real big change is coming on Saturday. We have a system moving towards us. A trough and cold front will head towards us on Saturday. That'll spark some storms. There's been some new changes in model data that's pushed that timing back to Saturday evening potentially. And we do have that chance of severe weather possible, and we'll talk about that more here in just a few moments. But with that cold front, that'll bring us some rain, some highs in the lower 80s and upper 70s, and overnight lows in the 50s. Then on Sunday, that we feel the big effects of that cold front with mostly sunny skies, with highs in the lower 70s there, with overnight lows in the upper 40s and maybe lower 50s. For the most part, though, dry conditions continue to be the case there with that on Sunday. On Monday, sunny skies look likely with highs in the upper 70s, lower 80s, and overnight lows in the 50s. Then on Tuesday, another chance of rain with an incoming warm front. But for the most part, though, that'll be highs in the upper 70s, lower 80s, with a 20% chance some rain showers at this time, with mostly sunny skies and overnight lows in the lower 50s. Not expecting any severe weather with that on Tuesday at this current time. Let's take a look at that chance of severe weather and talk more about that and what we have in store for this. So this is currently the Day 4 SPC Severe Weather Outlook. This is a slight risk level 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. And as you can see, this is for all of Arkansas, portions of northern Louisiana, all of the Arklatex region, west or eastern Oklahoma, southern Missouri, southern Illinois, western portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, and northwestern portions of Mississippi. And let's talk about what we're seeing with this and the data behind this. So we're going to show you two different models here, the GFS and the European model possibly. Give me one moment. Let me pull that up because I just now remembered that we cannot pull that up on here. But we're going to take a look at the overall setup and show you that. So give me just one moment here. Let's pull up the overall setup and talk about what's in store here. So here's our current 500 millibar level upper atmosphere pattern, and you can see over Arkansas right now, 591, that is a ridge. You can see that push up in the lines and the wind there, and you can see that ridge is centered over Arkansas. That continues to be the case. You have your jet stream here. See this low pressure system off over Nevada, and this dip in the jet stream, dipping those lines, that's your trough. As we go forward throughout the rest of this week, you're going to notice that starts to make its way towards us as we go into this weekend, and this is what this is showing there for this weekend. You can see that dip in that trough and jet stream. The European model shows something very similar when you take a look at this. There's that ridge, and then there's that trough that continues to move over us as we go into this weekend, and down more at the surface at about that same time, you're going to notice some storms and some cooler temperatures on the back side of that front. So through this upcoming time frame, through Friday, dry conditions for the most part. But look, as we go into Saturday afternoon and evening, some more storms start to form late Saturday evening potentially. Timing is going to change between now and then, and as we get closer, we'll start to give you better information on more citywide time frames and stuff of that nature. Right now, there's some bigger questions. The main threat currently looks to be damaging wind gusts. Cannot rule out a large hail and maybe a tornado or two, but for the most part, damaging winds remain the main threat on that on Saturday, and that line quickly moves out with that colder air or cooler and drier air behind it. Maybe some smaller rain chances there on Tuesday. Taking a look at the GFS model, you're going to notice some very similar things here. With this, dry conditions continue throughout the week, and as we go into Saturday, you're going to notice some storms and showers that will be possible. Now, remember, the GFS isn't quite as high resolution, or is a lower resolution than the European model, so it's going to show up more blobby and not necessarily pick up on more smaller details. But you can see here going into Saturday, some chances of some storms and some rainfall there, even as we go into that Tuesday time frame on some rainfall. But we're going to watch that closely. As we get closer, we're going to continue to get more details and more stuff in terms of the forecast, more model data, more guidance and stuff of that nature. So still some changes can come. Right now, main threat looks to be Saturday evening. That could change, like we said. Data kind of has shifted towards the evening today, and we'll have to continue to watch that. Damaging winds continue to be the main threat with that, and some large hail and maybe a tornado or two will be possible, but I'm not expecting a severe weather outbreak by any means, anything of that nature. But we are starting to shift more towards maybe an active period and maybe starting to get closer to some more fall-like air, as you can see there on the as you've seen there on the forecast for next week. Will it stick around? We'll have to wait and see, but that'll bring us to the end of today's evening weather blog. We want to say big thanks to all of our sponsors: Patterson's Credit Union, Southern Dumpster Rental, Landmark Insurance Agency, J&S Auto Supply Bumper to Bumper, and Palmer's Roofing for all they do to help us get this information to you guys. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and see you back here tomorrow, or see you back here tomorrow for another look at your evening weather blog and update on the severe weather chances.